Hey everybody, welcome to your full moon in Capricorn horoscope and tarot reading. We're going to get right into it. I'm calling this the full moon of peak intensity. How will it affect your sign? The moon is full on July 13th, 2:38 p.m. Eastern Time, United States. Get ready because this is potent. Stay tuned. So I am going to break this out by houses. So watch for your rising sign first and then your sun sign. So what is this peak intensity? Well, the full moon in Capricorn is conjunct Pluto, and it's a wide conjunction, but it still counts because, of course, Pluto is a very potent energy and he's been doing his thing in Capricorn since 2008. So we have this opportunity for peak intensity transformation. And remember, it's all about how you use the energy. So always apply the energies to your particular life and situation. But the other thing that's going on is we have the sun in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. So that's a very favorable energy, suggesting that some sort of emotional impetus for the better can be, really putting your emotions behind some positive dream manifestation can really work wonders right now. But the thing is you have to be open to the transformation. You have to be willing to do what it takes to make it happen. That is the Capricorn energy. Capricorn is about scaling that mountain one step at a time. Like, you do not give up, you persevere. We have Venus and Saturn in a Venus in Gemini in a trine aspect to Saturn, which is very favorable as well for making solid commitments to your future. But the future has to be different. It has to be transformative. It has to push you out of a comfort zone. And of course, full moons bring things to light. So this full moon in Capricorn is showing you the way forward of how to make this happen for yourself. We have some very potent energy getting ready toward the end of July to manifest with Mars in Taurus conjunct Uranus and the North Node. So that is powerhouse door swinging open, I like to call the North Node. So instead of a door just kind of gently swinging open, this could be a door powered by some serious wind, some serious energetic mojo, courtesy of Uranus and Mars, to really catapult your life in some sort of exciting new direction. So all of these energies are really starting to come to a head, and we know full moons bring things to a head anyway. So it's this is the season of change, and this full moon in Capricorn is going to show you where you need to step up, take responsibility, and be the change that you want to create in your world. Also at this full moon, we have Venus and Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces, and squares are, of course, tense energy. It's energy. It's like an itch you got to scratch, right? You got to deal with the energy. So Venus and Gemini, you could have two options, two directions to go in. Maybe you're torn into ways. Neptune in Pisces, can be fog. It can be, things are not clear yet. Or it can also be, what is the serious dream that you want to manifest? And where do you need to put more of your faith? So this full moon could be really showing you a crossroads situation between two possible paths. And with the square between Venus and Neptune, taking the path that perhaps is more spiritually aligned for your future growth. This is the thing, right? This is about the doors swinging open. This is about ascending the mountain. This is about committing to a new course of action. You may be tempted to go and stay in the old lane, in the old way. And that would be a misperception on your part. You may think, okay, it's safe to be over here. This energy with this full moon, and also what's going on later in the month with, as I said, Uranus and North Node, Mars conjunction in Taurus, is about breaking out of old structures, old secure structures. That is the way forward. That is the way that is going to catapult you to success in whatever area of life this energy is affecting you. So keep that in mind. All right, Aries. So the full moon is happening in your 10th house of career and calling. And the 10th house also has to do with our status in life. So the way I like to explain that, it's kind of like, your status update on social media. So there could be some sort of, big announcement that you are making to the world about an important direction that your life is heading in. And may not necessarily be career-wise. It could be something else. Like I said, your status. All right. So let's see. And that has also to do with issues of, relationships, whether married, single, that type of thing. Whether you're retired, whether you're employed, all of that. All right. So let's see, Aries, peak intensity for Aries in this house, the 10th house. What do we need to know? Aries. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, Judgment, wow, and the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So I think that this is very interesting. Wow. You are making, you're making some sort of very important change in your life. It's the information's going to come, like the peak intensity is this 8 of Cups right away. So something is well and truly over for you. Now this 8 of Cups doesn't have to be bad. It just means like you're emotionally finished with the situation. So, for example, you could be finished with being alone. You could be finished with, a certain job that you've done all the time. You could be finished with a project you are wrapping up for your current job. Whatever it might be. Like you emotionally invested all you could. You're done. You're moving on. Okay. So you're going to see that very clearly at this full moon in Capricorn. But then we have some Capricorn energy. We have the Page of Pentacles. We also have the Page of Cups going on here. Some Piscean energy, the Judgment, and this 8 of Pentacles. So there could be something here where you may, in fact, be moving on to a better career opportunity. There may be 2 to choose from. Now, the career opportunity could be, 2 new projects at your current job. This could be also a brand new job, whatever, right? Apply it to your life. But because we have the 2 pages, there could indeed be 2. And because we have the Venus and Gemini situation going on, as I said in the prologue to this video with the astrological energies, there may be choices between 2 things. So that's why we have the Judgment here also. And of course, Judgment is the 20, has the 2. And we start with an 8 and we end with an 8. So, and we end with an 8 of Pentacles. So you will be getting back to the drawing board of your life. You'll be getting back to work. You will be engaging in some sort of new pursuit that, is perfect for you. But in the meantime, we have a decision to be made. Now, the full moon is on the 13th. It may take you until the 20th to make that decision. Or what I would suggest, if you have put out resumes and you are waiting on another job offer. Maybe one's already come in and then you have a feeling another one's going to come in. It might be prudent to just wait before you say yes to the first one and see, if the other one comes in. Now, this is a general reading. I'm not telling people what to do because I don't tell people what to do. But you might consider that if you can, 'cause sometimes people need answers right away. So that you can truly evaluate both of these to make the right decision for yourself. Okay, I think both are good. I mean, both is fine. We have Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles. One might have more, money attached to it. The other may have more personal satisfaction, But we have good news coming. It also could just be one new thing that you're going to be embarking upon that will give you more personal satisfaction and creativity, but also pay you some more money. That's possible here also. But the Judgment card is about stepping into the new. It is about the resurrection of something going on in your career zone. But the first thing that has to happen is the old has to be stepped away from, the 8 of Cups. I mean, this is perfect because, of course, the full moon's conjunct Pluto. Pluto rules the 8th house. This is Scorpio energy. So, Pluto rules Scorpio. So this is very much, and Scorpio is your 8th house. This is very much about stepping away from the old and outworn. And it's about also what's emotionally outworn and old for you. The old lifestyle, whatever that may be for you, in regards to career, calling, and the status that I was explaining earlier. So you have beautiful new energies that want to pop in. Okay, Page of Pentacles could be some, like I said, some brand new, interesting stuff also that you can really sink your teeth into. Like stuff that's really gonna inspire you to do research, to find out more, to just really get deeply involved in it, because we're also ending with the Earth here with the 8 of Pentacles. And then, of course, the Page of Cups, just feeling this emotional infusion also of creative energy. So this is the thing. Are you ready to make that judgment call, Aries? Only you can do it. But it is time. It is time to make that judgment call. And it is time to get back to work in a sense, but back to work on something new and something that has a lot of fresh new potential for you, because pages for me are baby steps. They're things that are just getting underway. So, and because this is Virgo energy, you may see this situation really start to play out toward the end of August also, I feel. Okay, so very interesting. This is the key. There's always a card, one card that pops out. It's not always the card in the middle, but this to me is really the key, especially for any Aries that have been resisting this emotional letting go. All right, the full moon in Capricorn will be the peak intensity writing on the wall for you. All right, Taurus, this peak intensity full moon is happening in your 9th house of the big picture perspective of your life. Your worldview, academia, travel, publishing, writing, metaphysics, spirituality. All right, let's find out. But ultimately, where are you going in life? 9th house. Where are you headed? In the grand scheme of things, Taurus, what's going on? What's your peak intensity? We got a 6 of Swords. And we have a Page of Swords. Wow. The Emperor, the 4 of Wands, and the 10 of Cups. Okay. So the big picture perspective of your life, there's something about your home life, I feel. Something there to really make some sort of decision about. Now, this can also be getting some mental blocks out of your way as well to find your personal happiness. All right. Now, so I'm going to read this 2 ways. So we have 2 double Aries energy showing up here. We have the Emperor and we have the 4 of Wands. And that is your 12th house of the subconscious. So there could be something here. And because we have the energy of the mental energy here with the 6 of Swords and the Page of Swords, there really is something to be illuminated about your mental state in terms of being willing to make some decisions of letting go mentally and moving on and making some different decisions for yourself. And maybe having an important conversation, Page of Swords, with somebody in regards to that, depending on your personal situation. There is a truth you need to communicate to yourself and probably to somebody close to you about what you really want in terms of your personal happiness. You may have been holding this back deep within and not expressing it. Like I said, maybe even to yourself. So this full moon conjunct Pluto, I think you're going to get a now or never. You're going to get a now or never type feeling like, I've got to do this for me. Because the Emperor here is in the middle. And the Emperor can be sometimes selfish energy, or maybe that's too strong a phrase, but self-interest, let's just say. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of your self-interests. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it just sometimes gets a bad rap depending on how people go about it. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of you, right? So, I mean, it's okay. But what I'm feeling here is that, your own personal happiness, we have a 4 of Wands, 10 of Cups, has got to be based in your self-interests. And perhaps it has not been. Perhaps everybody else's needs have been, a higher priority than your own. So this is some things to take a look at. There's something here mentally, like I said, because of the 12th house, for you to take control and charge of, because we got the Emperor. Taking control and charge of, I'm going to bust through any limiting beliefs or ways that I have not been speaking my truth or living through my truth, that I've been holding myself back, because 12th house can be our house of self-undoing, where we do things we shouldn't do, or, we know better, or we keep ourselves stuck, we sabotage ourselves, etc., and so on. So there's this type of energy here I'm feeling where you're going to say, no, you know what? I got to get a handle on this. I am going to get a handle on this because, gosh darn it, I want this. I want the new door to swing open for me, 4 of Wands. I want my personal happiness, 10 of Cups. Whether it involves a brand new home life for me, whether it involves a new relationship, whether it involves a deeper commitment with the relationship I already have, Whatever the case may be. 10 of Cups doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. But it's the ultimate in personal happiness and satisfaction. But the Four of Wands is great. I mean, this is a gateway to a new life. And let's face it, you have an edge here, Taurus. You got a lot going on in your sign right now. You got Mars going through your sign, Uranus, which you've been dealing with and will continue to deal with for the next couple of years, and also the North Node. So Taurus, you're kind of like, the planetary energies are really kind of kicking you in the bum, in your shapely bum, to really go for this. That's the other thing. Go for your happiness. But the key is to get out of your own way. And the key with this full moon in your 9th house of the big picture perspective, conjunct Pluto, is something's got to give. Something's got to change. You want this. What are you going to do to go get it? And I think you're going to see very clearly at this full moon, here's your full moon, exactly where you want to go and what you're going to have to do to get there with this personal happiness. And you're going to realize that it all comes down to you. It all comes down to you. Lightning strikes, maybe once, maybe twice. Let me know if you know that song. Okay. I'm getting it in my ear. I'm getting that in my ear. All right. So there's going to be, I think, with the energies happening this month for you, the transformative energies, a metaphorical lightning strike of showing you the way. And I think you're going to see the illumination of what you got to do and where you want to go. All right. At this full moon. But you're also going to feel it later in the month with that North Node Uranus-Mars conjunction. We do not often get a lot of major opportunities for life transformation. In a good sense, because we have this gorgeous energy here. I do feel like the universe is really trying to give you an amazing opportunity that doesn't come around too often. All right. And, you can let it pass you by, or you can get on the ship and go for it. It's up to you. You got to get that self-interest going here. All right, Taurus. So let's see how this happens in your world. All right, Gemini. So we have this big full moon happening in your 8th house. Wow. Of sex, death, taxes, physical, mental, emotional transformation, other people's money, the occult, inheritances, things like that. So let's see what's coming to light. What is the peak intensity for you, Gemini, in regards to these energies? Let's find out. We have the Star, okay? And we have the Capricorn. We have the Devil energy. The 5 of Swords. The 4 of Swords. Wow. And the Fool. Wow. Okay. Oh, I'm getting chills, Gemini. All right. Here's what I am feeling. You just need to keep the faith with whatever you are dealing with these 8th house matters. Okay? You just need to, I'm going to take these two out here. You need to keep the faith, the Star and the Fool. I'm going to come back to them. This is the issue right here. Okay? The situation that you're dealing with the 8th house, you're going to see at this Capricorn full moon that if you just keep the faith, all right, the Star, it's a lot about just keeping the faith. The situation will naturally resolve itself and there will be a new start that comes out of whatever this is. This has its own timetable. I am feeling that this is probably going to wrap up for you by Capricorn season, although we do have the Capricorn full moon here, but you're going to see at this Capricorn full moon that it may take another 5 months. I'm just telling you what I am psychically feeling for a release, 4 of Swords, from whatever is going on, but putting this situation to rest, 4 of Swords. whatever this 8th house issue is for you. It's not going to do you any good to worry and obsess over it in that time period. This has a natural course of action of how it's going to play out, and that's going to be different for different people depending on what you are dealing with. It will be laid to rest and put into perspective, and there will be a new beginning. You will not be dealing with this 8th house situation forever. It may feel like that right now because of this energy. And you may be caught up in a little bit of a web here with the Devil card, a little bit of a thought web with this 5 of Swords, like crying in a corner. Am I ever going to get shifted of this, get shot of this situation? Because I got to shift this. I don't like to feel this way. The situation is causing me anxiety and worry. So acknowledge, yes, that it may be causing that. It doesn't help to deny reality, in my opinion. All right, it is what it is. Here's the reality. But also, do not let it, rule your life either. We can work miracles. We have 2 beautiful miracle cards here, Star and the Fool. As I said, if you can keep your eye on the prize, eye focused on the fact that there is probably something karmically going on with this situation. It has a natural timetable. It will play out, and you will be free from it. All right, that's what this is saying. Just try to stay in this star energy of healing, the higher perspective, of knowing that there is a bigger plan, a bigger energy. The universe is pulling strings, behind the scenes. There may be somebody else's karma involved here. I think there is, because of the fact in this 5 of Swords, we have 2 figures. So, and again, with the prologue to my video here, we're probably dealing with 2 things going on, and Venus is in Gemini right now. But this is going to get resolved for you, and it's going to get resolved in a healing way and in a way that's going to set you free. Okay. So Geminis out there, anything that you've been going through with this, whatever this 8th house situation is, it is not intractable. It will shift. All right. So try the best you can. I know it's sometimes hard depending on what you're dealing with. Try the best you can to remember that. And don't let yourself go down a dark rabbit hole of, thinking, and worrying. Okay? It will be laid to rest. All right, Cancer. So we have peak intensity, full moon in Capricorn in your 7th house of relationships, business partnerships, and also enemies. We sometimes forget that about the 7th house. So let's see what's going on. Peak intensity, Cancer, for your relationship. Already shuffled quite a bit. Let's find out. Oh, the delightful 5 of Swords, which is Gemini just had that. And I shuffled very thoroughly. Oh, and the Lovers. Okay. The 5 of Cups, the 6 of Swords, and the 3 of Cups. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Well, we have the Gemini energy showing up here. So there could be an important choice to make, a choice that you've been kind of worrying and fretting about. So some of you, yes, this may be, I'm going to read this about a relationship in a minute, but just in general, some of you may have been caught up in worrying and fretting, 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups, over perhaps a path you did not take. Right? Lovers can be, two choices, 2 paths. Because we have the nostalgia card here, the sadness, like regret, 5 of Cups. So there could be something here where this full moon may show you where you didn't connect. 7th house, like connect with somebody else in whatever way. Friendship, business, personal, romantic, whatever. And there, you may be able to finally at this full moon understand why. You could be wrapping up, like, you could just be karmically accepting, okay, that, relationship, that connection, season, reason, lifetime, or I wasn't ready, they weren't ready, and you move on. And then the moment you have that acceptance of the path you didn't take or whatever, boom, we get something to really kick up your heels about. we get a new connection or several new connections coming in, the Three of Cups. So it's like there's just something here to be resolved, I think, about a path, perhaps, that you could have given it up also. And maybe you decide to go back to it, a path, not a person, a path, perhaps. And, you know, you're happy about returning to that particular path that you didn't take. That's possible. Others of you, what I'm really feeling is that you could indeed be worrying and fretting over some sort of personal connection. And again, the moment you accept that this is not meant to be, at least right now, the something better comes in, Three of Cups. And I think several something betters come in. So there is something here about the acceptance of a situation. Five of Swords, Five of Cups, something that has been giving you anxiety about perhaps a love relationship, perhaps a soulmate, you know, with the lovers here, whether they're in your life, not in your life, whatever the case may be. There's something to be mentally resolved here, Six of Swords. To put this into perspective, could have been, you know, the wrong time, but the right person. It just could have been that the person wasn't ready. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe you found out something troubling about them. Maybe there was an argument. I mean, this is another way to read this energy. There could have been an argument, Five of Swords, with somebody close to you, and both of you are stubborn and feel bad about it. Nobody's doing anything. And maybe you just resolve, okay, I've got to just let that go. And the moment you let it go, you could hear from them. That is very possible with the Three of Cups. So depending on what you're dealing with in your life, there could be a situation that resolves itself, you know, better than expected here with the Three of Cups. But there is something for you to put into perspective. And if you were the one who started the argument or whatever with the Five of Swords here, since we go from the 5 to the 6, you know, you may need to see at this full moon, the peak intensity is you really miss this person, Five of Cups. And if you want the person back, they probably will come back, but you got to be the one to reach out, not them. That's what I'm feeling. Okay. And again, it's a general reading, so please apply it to your life and your personal situation. So I think all's well that ends well here. But it's the type of thing, this is the metaphor I'm getting. It's the type of thing where you're waiting for a phone call, right? You're like, and you're staring at the phone. You're staring down. Okay, where's the phone call? And the moment you set the phone down to go to the bathroom, that's when the phone rings. This is the same thing with the Six of Swords. This is the whole key here. Like once you mentally accept, okay, yeah, I was the one at fault, or this wasn't meant to be, maybe it needs to be something else or somebody else. That's when the universe brings you something better, or brings, you know, a rapprochement with the situation with the other person. So keep that in mind. All right, Leo, you got some peak intensity in your work and well-being sector with this full moon in Capricorn. And with it conjunct Pluto, there could be some power plays going on. So just be alert to that. You also have North Node Mars, Uranus in your 10th house of career. So again, this can be some unexpected energy affecting your career. So you have your work and well-being and career zones, both kind of getting some intense energy right now. Be very alert to power plays. Be very alert also with Mars in the 10th house to perhaps some people being a little aggressive with you, or you being aggressive. That's possible too. And because especially later in the month when Mars and Uranus will conjunct, just be very careful with the actions you take, the things you say, things like that in your career zone, because Mars conjunct Uranus is absolutely a wild card factor. And that is rather combustible energy. So just, you know, that could be energy directed toward you. That could be energy you're putting out. It just depends on the situation. But with this full moon in Capricorn, things are being brought to light in terms of transforming your work and your well-being, and what really bottom line needs to be cleansed and healed, and toxic energies that need to be done with. Okay, so let's see what we got. Leos, I already shuffled quite a bit, so just one more quick one. Peak intensity. 8 of Cups. Aries got this also. Oh, and here's our Pluto. Wow. The Fool. Gorgeous. Ace of Pentacles. Look at this. And the King of Pentacles. There's our Taurus energy. Okay. Woof. And Capricorn energy. I am getting chills, Leo. Okay. So here it is. Here it is. You may be, and remember it's a general reading, you may indeed be faced with a point of no return situation of, you know, I got to walk away from this. I cannot let my emotions continue to get embroiled in whatever is going on. I'm done. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily you quit your job. I don't advise that. This could just mean that, you know what? I don't want to work here anymore. This could be a realization that you have. I'm emotionally just absolutely finished. You come to that breaking point and you decide, I need a new beginning and I got to go out there and find the Fool, right? I got to go out there and find my next new adventure. So this energy could really give you a motivating kick in the bum, in your shapely bum, to indeed go out there and find something that is going to bring you more money, and more stability perhaps as well with this King of Pentacles here. So this is, you know, very intentional energy, but there is a new beginning here with this Fool and this Ace of Coins. Now, it can also be, there could be something here where, depending on what's going on for you, maybe you're selling a business, right? Because of the 10th house, maybe you're deciding with Uranus in your 10th house, North Node in the 10th house, Mars, like you are done with maybe a business you've already built up. And with the North Node, that a new door swinging open, you're ready for a new adventure, one that you can, you know, grow from the bottom up, so to speak. Ace of Coins to the King of Coins. So you could be also getting an offer to sell your business from somebody who has deep pockets, King of Pentacles, and may in fact, you know, give you the money you need. So that's very, very favorable. This is so interesting though. This is really saying to me that once you emotionally accept, and that's often the hardest part, emotionally accept that this is really past its sell-by date. Whatever this situation is in your work or well-being life, like it is time. Like you can't kick that can down the road any longer, Leo. You may have been doing that for a little while. But all the pressure that's happening in the 10th house and also in, like I said, in your 6th house, it's like this is coming to a head. And we know full moons bring things to a head. You want your freedom. You want your freedom to be in charge and do what you do best and do it in a way that is going to have greater growth. There could just be no more growth potential in whatever, you know, you have been doing up to this point. That's very possible with this here. And that's why something's got to give, something's got to change. So this is waiting for you. This is gorgeous energy here. So every reading has a card that kind of leaps out at me. And this is it, the 8 of Cups. It's once you have that acceptance. And it's interesting because this is Scorpio energy. And so is this, the Death card. So it's like, and that is, Scorpio is your 4th house of what nourishes you and what feeds you, the foundation of your life. So some sort of work or well-being or career situation may have been a foundation of your life for a long time. That foundation has cracks. You've been papering over the cracks. You're going to see you don't have the energy or the desire to paper over the cracks anymore. Here's all the cracks. Like you're done. So the sooner you can kind of get on board with this and see that at that full moon, the faster you can get on the road, Fool, and start manifesting a new opportunity for yourself. All right, Virgo. So we have a big full moon in your 5th house of love, romance, creativity, children, risk-taking, pleasure. Let's find out what is being revealed with this peak intensity. Virgo. The 4 of Pentacles. Okay. And the 3 of Swords. The Knight of Wands. The Star. And the Wheel of Destiny. Jupiter in Aries. Okay, well, Okay. Well, I'm just going to say it. because you know me. That's how I roll. Something you thought would be in your life forever, or, you know, forever in quotes. Something you thought was rock solid. I don't think so. This full moon is going to show you that. So this could be a creative project. This could be, you know, maybe something going on with one of your kids. I don't know. It could be something that, you know, romance. So apply it to your life, but something you really thought, Four of Pentacles, that you have been trying to hold on to for dear life. There is some wound around that. Three of Swords. There could be somebody else maybe interfering in that situation. Could be a third party situation, perhaps going on, if this is romance we're talking about, or just somebody who does not have your best interests at heart, and may unfairly take something away from you. That is possible. Okay. Or again, maybe something you invested a lot of your time and energy into building is simply changing, and the fruits of those labors are not, you know, happening for you. That's possible also. So there is a disappointment here. However, excuse me, cat hair. However, that will shift in Leo season. All right. And we're not that far from Leo season after the full moon. We have the Knight of Wands, the Star, and the Wheel. So I think whatever this disappointment is, something you thought you'd be in your life for a long time, the universe is going to show you why that had to go. And this could have already happened. I mean, that's possible. So those of you, maybe this already happened at the end of April or even into May. We've got Taurus energy going on here. And maybe you've already experienced this Three of Swords moment, Virgo. You're going to see by Leo season some sort of wisdom of the universe of why that went out for you, and a very positive change manifesting. So the better thing is coming in for you in this fifth house matter. The thing that is more aligned with your destiny, the Star, the thing that will bring you to higher prominence, or bring healing to your life, or just make you feel like you're heading in the right direction with your life. The universe is bringing it. There is something destined that is better for you. And it has more drive, more passion, more creative juice with this Knight of Wands. And it will happen very fast. We have two fast energies here, the Wheel and the Knight of Wands. So this is really about still keeping the faith here with this Star card, that, you know, trusting in the wisdom of the universe. And I know that is hard to do sometimes when we are feeling sad about a situation with a Three of Swords. When we are in a Three of Swords moment, it is very challenging, I know, to try to keep the faith and trust in the divine alignment and workings of the universe. So, but this is telling me that, you know, universal wisdom is correct, and very quickly your situation can change. I mean, we forget that sometimes when we're in pain, that life can turn on a dime. It doesn't always turn on a dime unfavorably. It can also turn on a dime favorably. So I think a very positive change is on its way for you, Virgo, to show you, you know, why maybe this didn't work out. And here's the Wheel. Jupiter is in Aries, which is your 8th house of personal transformation. So there is something better that's going to be coming in to help transform your life. All right. In this 5th house area, love, romance, creativity, etc. So let's see what that might be for you, Virgo. All right, Libras. Well, you have a big full moon in your 4th house of the foundation of your life, your home, your family, your roots, what nourishes you and what feeds you. And it's conjunct Pluto. So this to me is, all right, what do you need to transform from the ground up in your life? The full moon in Capricorn is giving you that information. Now, maybe some of you are already in the midst of doing that. Maybe you are in the midst of a move or a major life transformation. If you are, Libras, you are right on time. So peak intensity. Let's find out. Libras. And this may have something to do with a relationship, because Jupiter is in your 7th house of relationships. Let's find out. Libras. The Ace of Swords. Okay. And the Justice. There's your energy. Wow. The Ten of Pentacles. The Judgment. Oh my gosh, Libra, look at this. And the Ace of Wands. Or as I like to say, the Ace of freaking Wands. Oh my gosh. Do you see this energy, Libra? Do you see this? This is amazing. We have a reading bookended by two aces. We have the Capricorn energy, Ten of Pentacles, in the middle of this reading. We have your energy showing up, the Judgment. My God, this is phenomenal. So here's the key. Here's our full moon. Ace of Swords, which is about making up your mind and also setting yourself free, cutting yourself loose from some sort of bond that no longer serves you. The writing is on the wall. All right, we have an Ace of Swords, very similar to a fountain pen, like a pen. This Ace of Swords can cut things loose, but we got the full moon here. So this is the writing on the wall for you to make up your mind. Now, some of you may have already made up your mind. That's very possible. But this is, you have two, and I mean, this is amazing here. Two very strong karmic energies here with the Justice and also the Judgment card. So this absolutely is a decision, of course, that you are making. It's down to you. This is something that is deeply going to transform your life for the better. It's going to bring more stability to your life. Ten of Pentacles. It may bring a partner. That's very possible because, again, Jupiter's in your 7th house. It's going to bring more well-being, enthusiasm, passion, joy, etc. to your life. So, and it's going to bring more balance. If those things have been missing from your life, it's going to bring those things back into your life. But again, it's the writing on the wall. You have to make that decision. You have probably weighed all the evidence enough, Libra. This is decision time. This is crunch time. This is not anymore necessarily about, balancing the scales. You got to rebalance yourself and take this opportunity, is my feeling. Again, any toxic energies with that Pluto is saying, release them, cut them loose from your life, and choose the brand new and the passionate with the Ace of Wands here. Now, we have this Judgment, and because we have the Ace of Wands, what I'm feeling is that by the beginning of Leo season, so around the 20th, which is start of Leo season, you're going to see that making that judgment call is absolutely you did the right thing. You made the right decision. So those of you who are in the throes of this right now and maybe just made the decision or are about to make this decision at this Capricorn full moon and you're kind of like a little nervous about it, I think you'll see by the 20th that why was I so nervous? I'm so excited that this new thing is getting underway for me. Ace of Wands. I feel rejuvenated. All right. So just see, it is peak intensity. There may be something that really comes to a head with a home family roots situation. Again, a home situation at this full moon for you where it's like, yeah, I got to set myself free. I got to cut myself loose. This cannot continue. Now, once you do that, look what we have here. In the heart of this reading is the Ten of Pentacles, which is gorgeous. So this is our Capricorn energy. I love this deck. It has a rainbow here. We have an energy of stability, not just financial, but also feeling better about yourself, about what you're doing in the world. And yes, it is very possible that it can also bring a new relationship to your life or, some sort of new stability to the home life. So this can also be perhaps those of you who are looking for buying, selling that, you make the decision and very quickly you could manifest a better property for yourself, a better place of living. This Ten of Pentacles, something that's going to be more stable, something that where who was ever involved with the situation, other people around you, they're stable, you're stable. There is just this sense of everybody is looking out for one another. So this is very nice energy, and there could be an improvement in your finances as a result of making this decision. And let's not forget, the Judgment is about new life. And when next to the Ace of Wands, this is the thumbs up from the universe. You got this. This is going to infuse such new possibility, joy, energy, enthusiasm in your life, Libra. This is fantastic. So this is what you're working toward. And I would say also, since we have the Capricorn here, by the time we get to Capricorn season this year, I think you're going to see that this was the start of a major turning point in your life. Major. This was definitely the fork in the road, and you took the appropriate fork. So let's see how this plays out for you, Libra. All right, Scorpio. So we have a super full moon in your third house of writing, speaking, sales, networking, teaching, communicating, and also your daily life. So what is being revealed to you, Scorpio? Let's find out. Peak intensity with the Tower. Okay. And the Four of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. And the Ace of Swords. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, well. I just like to say, all's well that ends well. We got an Ace of Swords here. So you are cutting yourself loose rather quickly from a situation that has kept you stuck. Okay. Now, the third house is about communications, Ace of Swords. So it could be that you're going to have an important conversation to set yourself loose from something. Maybe you're going to sign up for something that's going to help free you from whatever this is. I'm going to talk about this in a second. You are making up your mind with a lot of clarity because the full moon is going to reveal the writing on the wall, as I was saying to Libra, about, you know, what you need to do. So there is something I'm feeling that you perhaps have been trying to ignore, your head under the covers, this Four of Swords, that really has been a situation that has kept you just feeling impoverished. Five of Pentacles. So it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It could just have a situation that has made you feel poorly about yourself. Because I read Pentacles as self-esteem. So this is something that has just been a drag, a drain on your energy. But also, as I said, with the Four of Swords here, something you've probably not wanted to deal with. Because Scorpio, you're so in tune. You're so self-aware. You knew and know what's been going on. But sometimes, until there's something outside the Tower that throws the lightning bolt and says, yo, wake up, get this done now. Sometimes we just do this for a while. I mean, it happens. It's nothing to beat yourself up over. But you get the lightning bolt under your shapely bum that is like propelling you out of bed, out of this feeling poorly, and saying, you know what, wait a minute, I'm a Scorpio. What the heck am I doing? This is my energy. Here's the Eight of Cups. I know how to simply walk away and cut myself loose and free and don't look back. Scorpios are known for that. That's one of the signs that you can, and it maybe seems very cold and whatever to other people, but it's like Scorpio through self-preservation can simply be, I'm done, boom, and never talk to somebody else again, or never go down that road again, or whatever the case may be. And it sticks. So I feel like we're in that type of situation. And because this is happening in that third house, this is probably going to affect your daily life. Third house is also like daily habits, routines, like, that type of thing. So there could be something that enough is enough. You may be letting go of an emotional situation, of maybe dealing with a certain person who's maybe taking you for granted. Maybe you already knew they were taking you for granted, but you, like I said, didn't want to deal with it for whatever reason. This full moon is going to be like, no, you got to get this done. Now, here's the other thing. This is Uranus. Uranus is in your seventh house of partnerships right now. North Node conjunct, and Mars is in there now too. So there could really be a situation where if you want a better relationship in your life, you're going to have to stop being in denial about the one that's already there and make the decision to move on and don't look back. So for some of you, that could be going on. There could also be, since Mars is in your seventh house right now, there could be some sort of, with the Tower here, some sort of unexpected argument, also third house communications, argument that comes out of nowhere. Maybe you thought the situation kind of was resolved. You had put it to rest, and then, but it really hadn't, and it comes out of nowhere, and all the old feelings, like they don't understand you, they don't care, etc., come out, and you're like, WTF, once and for all, let me get out of this. So I feel like, and again, that can be business, personal, whatever's going on in your world. So I think you are going to make a very interesting decision to move on from something that has kept you in a limbo that has started to do some harm. I'm just going to say it. I feel like it's really started to do some harm to you, this Five of Pentacles, like harm to your psyche and your self-esteem. So, and Ariel's coming in as I say that. She is definitely letting you know that, yes, she's affirming that energy. So, Scorpio, time for some Scorpio self-preservation. Let's get it done. All right, Sagittarius. So you have a big full moon in your second house of show me the money. Oh my goodness. All right. Conjunct Pluto. So, could be a big transformation happening with your finances. So let's see. Peak intensity with your finances and also your values. Let's not forget second house is also that. All right, Saggies. Let's find out what we got going on. We have a Five of Cups and an Ace of Cups. I like that. Page of Wands, Pluto, and the Nine of Swords. Excuse me. All right. All right. I'm getting a little bit feel the fear and do it anyway vibe going on here. There is a change that's coming to your finances. I think it's going to be a change that you're actually going to like with this Ace of Cups here. So something could be offered to you that you've been really wanting for a while. So can remove you out of past disappointments. Maybe things haven't worked out with finances. Maybe there was an opportunity that was lost. Maybe you just haven't been disappointed in the way your finances have been lately, or, if you're trying to find a job, maybe it's just been one disappointment after another, that type of thing. So I think something good, the writing on the wall could be coming to fruition at this Capricorn full moon, or some sort of offer, some sort of news. It's in its early stages because the Page of Wands is here. So it's just getting started. But this can be a permanent change with the Death card here. But with the Nine of Swords as our last energy, what are you so afraid of? What are you worried about when it comes to this new thing that wants to start blossoming in your money and values zone? With the Ace of Cups showing up here, I'm really feeling like whatever change here is going to be aligned with your values. Page of Wands, your energy. So what is this happening over here, Sagittarius? It is natural, even when we have a happy change, it is natural, and one that's been long awaited. This is probably a change you've been wanting for quite a while, but it is something permanent. It's normal to feel a little nervous about it, to have this sleepless night. Do I take this offer? What do I do? Is this the right course of action for me? And I would say the key to this whole reading is this Ace of Cups. Aces for me are about the self. If this feels good to you, if this is really what your heart wants, whether we're talking about a new job or working with a new client or investing your money in a certain way or whatever you're doing, and especially because it's next to your energy, if this is truly in your heart of hearts what you want, then that is all that matters, right? Don't stay stuck in past disappointments. Oh, this is just going to turn out how all the other things turned out. That's the Nine of Swords talking. That's your nighttime anxiety talking. No, it's not. This is a whole new situation. Live out of your imagination, not out of your history. Don't base the current stuff on what happened in the past. This is new. Ace of Cups. So what are you worried about in terms of this permanent change if you take this opportunity? Only you can answer that. Are you afraid of starting over? I don't think so. You're a Sagittarius. You're very adventurous. You can do it. Are you afraid of what other people will think? That's possible, right? Your life is your own to live. So I would say, again, if this feels good and right to you, Ace of Cups, then it's time to move forward in the direction of that dream, Page of Wands. Somebody's always got something to say to somebody about whatever it is that they want to do. So just ignore it, in my opinion. But really look at this Nine of Swords. It also could be, but I feel like the offer is already going to come in since it came out first over here. It could be that you're worried, is this offer ever going to come in? And remember, the more we worry, the more we push something away. So that may be another thing to take a look at if you're doing that. But what I'm feeling is it's more like you're worried about what this change is going to bring to perhaps your life, maybe some adjustments you're going to have to make, and also maybe what the other people around you are going to say about it. Perhaps other people will be disappointed in you, Five of Cups, that you're going in a different direction. It's very interesting to see when we make significant changes in our lives that sometimes the people around us, you would think they would be happy for us, but it's almost like our change, what we're doing, our changes like negatively impact them because we're not staying stuck in a little box and being the same how we've been, and they almost like can't deal with it. They can't compute. They want us to stay, in that little compartment that they've put us in. It's just easier for them. And sometimes our own changes that we make because we're doing something positive with our lives shows other people how stuck they are. And almost is kind of like a reproach in a way to them. And they are like, well, yeah, I guess, wow, they're changing. But here I am over here. So there can be some jealousy. There can be some things like that. And it may not even be that they consciously realize that either. So I'm psychically feeling it can also be people around you that are just like, what is Sag doing? But and you may be worried about their reaction, Nine of Swords, and that's okay. But know that if this is right in your heart, this is right in your heart, and it's what you need to do. Capricorn, this is your full moon, baby. Let's see. Peak intensity for the first house of the self, the body, how other people see you, your identity. So could be a big announcement you're making to the world, Capricorn, about who you are, what you're doing, what is happening in Capricorn world. All right, let's see. What do we need to know? And this is peak intensity with Pluto in your sign. We're coming to the end of it, Cappies. I know it's been a long road since 2008, but this full moon really could bring some very exciting information about helping you put into perspective what has been going on since 2008, So there's that. We also have North Node, Uranus, Mars getting ready to conjunct in your fifth house, which is very, very potent energy as well. New doors swinging open for you with creativity, romance, children, risk-taking, pleasure, entrepreneurial activities. So really exciting times. I really feel like this is something major in terms of a huge culmination in identity. And with the final shedding, or one of the last big pieces of shedding an old layer, an old skin with it, the full moon conjunct Pluto. All right, it could also be a big healing for you in some significant area of your life. All right, let's see. Capricorn, and here's Ariel. Ace of Swords. That card's been coming up quite a bit. And the Two of Cups. Oh, Capricorn. The Ace of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, I'm getting chills. The Seven of Cups. And the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Interesting. Alrighty. Very interesting energies here. We have two number twos, two aces, and a Seven of Cups. What an interesting thing going on here. All right. Wow. So this aces for me are about the self, right? So we have your ace, the Ace of Pentacles, you know, the Earth's energy, and then we have the Ace of Swords. So as I was saying to the other signs that got this energy, the writing is on the wall. You're cutting loose one situation in your life that no longer serves you in whatever way, because this is the first house, it's very personal, so that you can embark upon something that really does serve you. Two of Cups. So some sort of deal, some sort of relationship, perhaps new connection. This can be a creative partnership. This can be a personal relationship. This is a simpatico energy. You see eye to eye. You're on the same page. It's a lovely, lovely energy here. And, you know, this is going to grow roots. The Ace of Pentacles here. This is fully aligned. You are fully aligned with whatever this new commitment is in your life. It's with someone else. Like I said, whether it's a creative partnership or business partnership, because we have your 7th house here. The 7 of Cups is Cancer energy. So this involves this dream, this new thing that you want to create in your world that's deeply personal to you, this new identity, this new project. It involves your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, other people. You have big dreams, big goals for whatever this new connection is that is coming in for you. And then we have this 2 of Pentacles here. So what this is saying to me is that, thank you, Ariel. It may take about 2 months. So maybe into Virgo season, you're going to start seeing very positive results moving forward with planting this Ace of Pentacles now at this full moon, making this announcement, moving in the direction of what you value, what's important to you. And you're going to start seeing the first fruits of that coming up. Now, what I think is interesting is sometimes the 2 of Pentacles is you're weighing options and things like that. I'm not feeling that in this instance. I'm feeling, because we go from the Ace to the 2, that things start progressing with this new deal, whatever this is for you, the new relationship, the new connection, the new creative partnership. You're starting to see progress fairly rapidly, and it's valuable progress. It's the Pentacles. It's your energy. It's aligned. Again, it's aligned energy for you, whatever this is that's going on. So this is fantastic. This is absolutely beautiful. It's time to just dream bigger for yourself and accept the things in your life, you know, or 7 of Cups here, just dreaming bigger about what you're capable of, and also, you know, what you really deserve, you know? It's not just about what you're capable of, what you really deserve, because Pentacles are self-esteem. You've had a long, hard road, right, Ariel, with that Pluto there in your sign. You've done a lot of work on yourself. This is really the birth of Capricorn, like 12.0 here with this Ace of Swords and this Ace of Pentacles. And it is because you are cutting away the last bits of the past that this new thing is coming in. Because if you hadn't transformed yourself, if you hadn't done the inner work, this thing wouldn't have happened. So big pat on the back here, Capricorn. All right. So this is very, very good. The linchpin energy for me is here. This is so good. At this full moon, you are just going to have a sense and feeling of empowerment, self-esteem, and this big new seed that you're planting in your life that is going to grow and grow fairly rapidly, and going to also bring new dreams to the fore as well, because the 7 of Cups is after this. So this new beginning that you're going to have that will grow roots is also going to create new dreams inside of you that you want to manifest. And again, it's going to be based in this new version of yourself. The old way of life is done. The old Capricorn, you know, Pluto's going to get out of your sign in 2023. Yeah, he's going to backtrack a little here and there, but basically he's going to be done. And this full moon in your sign is really, really affirming that you survived. And not only did you survive, but you're going to thrive because of all you've learned, all that you have been through. And it starts at this full moon. And again, some of you may be making a very important announcement at your full moon. about something near and dear to your heart that you are about to invest your time and energy into, that is going to start making your wildest dreams come true. All right, Aquarius. So we have a big full moon, peak intensity in your 12th house of things hidden behind the scenes, your subconscious, the dream life, the dream world. So very interesting to have a full moon in the 12th house, bringing things like kind of bubbling up from underneath the surface. And because it's conjunct Pluto, I feel like you really could break some long-standing bad habits at this full moon. You could really be shifting limiting beliefs. You could really be releasing yourself also from some sort of karmic obligation. All right, so let's see. Like you've paid your dues karmically with some situation and you're released from it. Let's see what we need to know. Peak intensity for Aquarius. We have the Tower and we have the Seven of Wands. The Page of Swords. Three of Pentacles. And the Empress. Okay, wow, this is interesting. All right, what I feel here is that there may be some sort of sudden revelation, the Tower, some sort of epiphany. Again, full moons, you know, they really, and this full moon's so potent. I mean, I think it's going to be active from the 10th to the 14th, honestly. The full moon brings things to light. Full moons power our dreams and make them in technicolor and often bring messages, psychic messages, spiritual messages through our dreams. The veil is just a little thinner, I feel. So you could have through your dreams or through, something else, guided meditation, or just through your daily life, have some sort of epiphany, the Tower, some sort of lightning bolt realization that you are finished and you are released. You stood your ground. You held the course. Seven of Wands. You did what you needed to do. You've paid your dues. And I feel like you're going to get the realization. This could even be something that literally happens suddenly to show you that you are independent and free now. Seven of Wands, from whatever the karmic obligation was. That's what I'm feeling. So that's going to be different things for different people. But I am feeling this sense of release and relief. All right, so this is very good. Now, as a result of this, we have a Page of Swords. So you're going to start thinking in new ways about what you're going to do now that you have more energy back. Now that you have released this karmic debt, this obligation, you have freed up that energy, because things like that take up a lot of psychic space, in us. Once you have freed yourself from that, you're going to start thinking, Page of Swords, and that is your energy, the swords, about what you want to do next. Three of Pentacles. Interesting, we have these two threes here. So we have the Empress, which of course is very creative energy, and the Three of Pentacles, which is a very creative energy as well. It has a lot to do with whatever your craft is. And it can also be working with other people. I mean, that's possible. But what I'm feeling, Three of Pentacles for me is a planning, structure, architecture card. So with this energy that is psychically freed in you, you are going to, over the next, I would say 3 weeks, and probably even 3 months, but let's just say 3 weeks, you are going to be really focused in on nurturing some sort of new course of action for yourself. And this may not have been possible before to do or even think about while you were still embroiled in this karmic debt that you have been paying off, so to speak. So I think this is very favorable. I would suggest at this full moon also to write down, because it's good to do, write down what you would like this new plan, this new creativity, this new project, whatever it is for you, this new thing that you want to do, write it down. Get the clarity about it at the full moon as well. And then start taking action toward making it happen. But realize that this may be a little slow going. The Empress is not, she takes a while here, This is not like something that's going to happen overnight. But I think the more important point is that you're going to feel like, wow, I can nurture now that dream that is really important to me. I'm free to do so. Because the 12th house is very much connected with dreams and things, we want to do. So I love this for you. Very, very positive. It's time to plan some new things for your life, but also be very attuned to this energy. Be very attuned to what this is. It's important that you recognize that you are released from this, that you have paid your dues, that it is finished, so that you won't feel guilty or encumbered by going for something new in your life. So I hope I made sense on that for you, Aquarius. All right. So get ready. The Tower, that's going to be interesting. I really am feeling it's nothing bad. I'm just feeling like it's going to be this shock of awareness, like, wow, the lightning has set me free. All right, Pisces. So this full moon in Capricorn is happening in your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams and gains and networks and friends. So let's see what you need to know, Pisces. A big wish. Could it be coming to fruition? I hope so, Pisces. Let's find out. Ariel's concentrating. All right, let's see. As I try to shuffle this big deck. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Pisces, the Lovers, and the Eight of Cups. The Six of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so interesting because Venus is in Gemini, as I said in the prologue to my video, and we have the Gemini energy coming out first. So I'm going to read this two ways. This could have something to do with something going on with your home. I mean, that's possible because Gemini is your 4th house. We have Venus there. And I'm saying that because we're starting with the Gemini energy. So it could be that you are making some sort of important decision at this full moon because here's our decision maker here, our Queen of Swords, to in fact move on from some sort of burdensome situation, Ten of Wands, in regards to a home situation that doesn't fit you anymore. Home, family, roots, what nourishes you and what feeds you. So it can be also, maybe there is some family connection or somebody you consider to be family that you feel you also may have to move on from because they have just been very problematic, Ten of Wands. Maybe you've been doing all the work in the relationship. So it can be something like that where you may just decide, you know what, this is finished. This is not in my best interests anymore. But it's a process. What I find interesting about this is we have the Eight of Cups and then we have the Six of Swords. Then we have the Queen of Swords. I feel like you're going through a process at this full moon of moving on and releasing perhaps from this situation that may have been in your life for a while, since we're talking about the 4th house. So something that could have been foundational to your life for maybe the last 6 years, because we have 2 6s here. And this could be something else in your life as well, something that has been part of your foundation. So it could be a job. I mean, that's possible. Could be a friendship, could be a relationship. I'm going to talk about relationship in a second, or a home situation. It's a process you're going through because this is a big decision and you want to make sure you're making it with absolute clarity, Queen of Swords. And you are looking at it with a lot of facts and figures and talking to yourself about it, maybe talking to somebody else about it. Like you are really doing your best to look at the situation objectively. Because that's the thing, like Pisces, like you will give somebody, the benefit of the doubt over and over and over again until it gets to the point where you are well and truly done. And it is true, you move on emotionally first. 8 of Cups, oftentimes. But then it takes a while for you to actually make the announcement or have the conversation. 6 of Swords, and let the other person know, oh, by the way, I actually am kind of done. Because if they're not really as sensitive as you and they don't get they don't get the vibe, they may not even realize you were already checked out. 8 of Cups. All right. So this is very interesting how this may be playing out. Also, the 10 of Wands is interesting here because that is a card of moving and packing a lot of boxes, like shifting burdens, etc. So for some of you, this really could really be playing in with a home situation. Now, if we look at this from a relationship perspective, again, it's like the writing is on the wall here. You've probably already moved on emotionally. You may have already moved on with somebody else. That's possible with this energy. And it's just kind of the cleanup crew coming on in. Like you've got to just clean up the details. 10 of Wands. You've got to wrap up the energetic cycle with this particular person. And I mean, for some of you, they may view you as a very Queen of Swords character in this. They're maybe like, what happened to my sweet Pisces, right? Because again, when you are well and truly done, you are well and truly done. And you can go into this mode just like any other sign can go into that kind of Queen of Swords objective, like take no prisoners, this is what's happening kind of mode. So what I feel here, if there has been a wish to release yourself from any of the aforementioned situations that I have already discussed, that is here for you. Okay. And there is something here about honoring the process of this release and going at your own pace with it. And I do feel that it is the right time for it with the 6 of Swords energy here in the middle. You're going to find peace by letting go of whatever this situation is. And you will find something better for yourself. Absolutely. It is time to wrap up this energetic cycle with the 10 of Wands here. So let's pull one more card for you, Pisces. And let's just see what is going to happen with this wrapping up cycle. All right. What else do you need to know about this? Queen of Swords. You make the decision, your objective, etc. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Knight of Cups, look. So something better is absolutely going to come in for you, something that's more aligned for you. Since this is your energy showing up here, there will be an emotional rebirth, energetic shift, and you'll feel like yourself again. That's the other thing. More opportunities will come in for you, including romantic and emotional. So this is going to bring a positive shift to your life. Knight of Cups here. Even though what I'm feeling here is it's not so much, I feel like you're already in an 8 of Cups. I feel like, you're already in this, I've accepted that I have to move on. It's just, I gotta clean this up. That's what I'm really feeling here. And once you clean it up, you're moving on to much better things for yourself. So, interesting reading. This, sometimes we do have to clear space for the better to come in. And I feel like since this full moon is conjunct Pluto, which is about eliminating toxins, eliminating things and situations we don't need anymore, I feel like that's kind of what's going on. And I think once you do that, then we have a brand new situation manifesting rather rapidly for you. It's the Knight here. So the positive change that you really want is right at your doorstep. You just got to get the cosmic cleanup crew on board here, Pisces, and, clean up before you can get loved up again. You know what I'm saying? You do. So thank you so much for watching the full moon in Capricorn peak intensity astrology and tarot reading. I love you guys. Take care. Have a good week ahead. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on for you with these energies. I'll see you again soon. Stella Wilde signing out.